Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Minnesota Vikings
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Right to the air is Carr.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Draw play. This is Hines. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
To throw is Cousins.
That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. They've taken care of that early.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are on the board first here in Vegas. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They run with Hines. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. The Raiders in a disappointing 1-4 as they start play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Here's Hines. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now it's Hines. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. This is Hines. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing, Cousins, and complete right side to Cook. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he's just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Hey, we're good, we're good.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Cousins the thrower. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run again with Hines. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, it's Hines. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. It's complete to Cook. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 79 yards. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. They'll start on the ground with Hines. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. He's got his man. That's Sample, the tight end. On the move past the 40. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Vikings. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24.
The score, Vikings 24, Raiders nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They begin the drive with Hines. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Here's A.J. Cole now, standing just about on his own goal line. Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Listen to me. Hey, no, he's easy. Hey,
Another try after the 1st down sack. Cousins And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Play fake. Cousins. He's got a man complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back sacks.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind. No pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Third quarter from Southern Nevada. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Now Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he's brought down. It's a first down, and that catch also puts him at 150 yards receiving now for the game.
Cook will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point attempt to come here.
And he's got it as the score is now 31-7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
They start the drive with Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Play action now. Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Cousins now. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now a timeout called for by the defense, and that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins escaping the pressure right. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the pick six we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a two-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. How about this? They'll try the option, left side, and he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
On 2nd down, right back to Hines. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Carr maybe with a free play. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Up the middle they go. Hines, and he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook to about the 26 here.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Cousins throw into the hands of Sample. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, You would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Left side, Cook. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Charles, defensively, one timeout left. Do you use it here, or do you let it roll to the 2-minute warning?
I would use it here because you're going to get the 2-minute warning stoppage as well. And then that means you have to snap the ball again. Something could happen. Something could go awry. You could get the ball back. I wouldn't.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Raiders are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 121 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hines, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On third down, Hines. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. On first down, it's Hines. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Now a give, right side. Hines. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
What now?
Throwing his car. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was Kirk Cousins, the veteran, who really led the way.
Yeah, I think we both were really impressed with how he played. He threw for almost 400 yards, had 3 touchdown passes, and was absolutely in total control of this offense.
So for the Vikings, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8.